Hello everyone, this is group 5 and we are gonna discuss about the authenticity and embodiment exploring LGBT identity throughout philosophy and the movie Bound made in 1996. So for the first question, I wanted to ask Tanda, what is Merlot's point of view on human corporeality?
Okay, thank you for the question. So Merleau-Ponty views the human body as central to understanding our existence. He rejects the separation of mind and body, arguing that our body is not just an object, but the medium through we experience and engage with the world. Uh, he distinguishes between a corpore, the body, as a physical object, and leap, the light body, which shapes our perceptions and action. And furthermore, movement or motility is essential, as he shifts from I think to I can, emphasizing the body's role in action. Through our body schema and unconscious awareness of our body's position, we navigate speak seamlessly. Um, Merleau-Ponty's also construct objective space, which is a detached and abstract, which oriented space, which is shaped by our bodily experience. Ultimately, he showed that perception and understanding are deeply rooted in our embodied lived experience. So yeah, that's all for my discussion.
Thank you for your answer, Tanda. That was very interesting. So now I want to ask Cliff, where do you think the problem lies that makes LGBT people difficult to be accepted by their social environment?
Thank you for the question. So it's actually a big issue that has been debating about the struggle that LGBT people have been facing in our society. So let's look at our societal norm. So in many society, there are many traditional ideas about gender and then sexuality, where people are expected to fit in a specific role, like there's only two men and women, some sort of like that, and only heterosexuality is it seem as the normal way of living. But for as a in LGBT individual, this means their identity is maybe wrong, because it's again our um traditional idea about our sexuality. So this misunderstanding comes from long-held cultural and then even religious belief in some religions that encourage conformity. So yeah, and then let's look about the stereotypes and misinformation about these people. So these people are often judged based on harmful stereotypes that simplify their identity. That, for example, so some people mistakenly thinks being LGBT is just a choice, or maybe it's a result of negative influence. So this particular misunderstanding are widespread through especially social media and even maybe orthodox educations, where they religious belief are dominated. And yeah, and then another factor is interesting to look at is our family and the community pressures. So in many culture, I think maybe it might be we could say Asian culture, where our family reputation and social status uh, uh, among our community are very important. So we value that status more than anything. So if someone in our family comes out as LGBT, so maybe our family may fear judgment and even exclusion from our community, right? So these fears often lead to family being, rejecting their own loved children. So yeah, this is the reason LGBT may be left feeling isolated and then unsupported. That's why where the issue start from, that they face in the you know challenges for people to accept them. And the one more uh aspect that we should also look at is social and the legal system. In some places, LGBT people do not have the same legal right as others. So they might face, even in our work, discrimination at work, in public, and even some experience violence by the other people who do not accept this gender stereotypes. So yeah, as we think about the LGBT, why these people face such struggle in being accepted by society, we must also consider how these challenges are deeply connected to our societal norms, cultural expectation, even our personal belief about our own identity, right? But this question, why do these people face difficulty in being accepted by our social environment, isn't just about what is wrong with our society. It's also about how we, an individual community, can start thinking differently. Yeah.
Thank you, Cliff. That was very insightful for you to talk about the struggles that LGBT people face. Now we know that the Wachowski sisters came out as trans sisters. So their first film, Bound, discusses between a relationship between two same-sex couples. Priscilla, can you tell us about the movie and how the lenses say about the movie?
Okay. So the Wachowski's Bow 1996 serves as a powerful lens to explore LGBTQ plus struggles through the philosophies of Sartre's existentialism and Merleau-Ponty's corporeality. Sartre's ideas that existence precedes essence highlights the importance of defining one's identity through actions rather than converting to societal labels. This aligns with the struggle for authenticity faced by LGBTQ plus individuals, who often resist pressures to live in an authentically inbound, quirky, and violent, assert their freedom and challenge heteronormative expectations, embodying Sartre's notion of resisting bad faith. And Former Ponti, on the other hand, emphasizes the body as a subject of lived experience where relationships and societal interactions are deeply connected to physical existence. LGBTQ relationships disrupt societal norms by reclaiming the body as part of their reality. Yet rejection often arises from society's discomfort with diversity and interconnection. Together, these philosophies illuminate how quirky and violent navigate societal constraints tied to gender and sexuality, demonstrating essential freedom while embracing their embodied subjectivity. Ultimately, Bound urges us to foster a society that embraces authenticity, interconnection, and liberation from oppressive norms.
Thank you for your input, Priscilla. So the next question I want to ask Wine. So based on the philosophy worldview that we learned, and so how do we apply it to LGBT people? And what's your opinion on them?
Next slide, please. So one thing about the LGBT issue, I find the idea of Sandra and Merleau-Ponty really helpful. Like they challenge us to look at people and their life in a deeper, more open way. So I want to rewind what my member said earlier. So next slide. Yes. So central existentialism say that like existence comes before the accent. So in simple terms, this means we are not born with a fixed identity or purpose. So instead, we create who we are through our choices and action. For LGBT people, this idea is so important because it supports the idea that they have the freedom to define themselves and live their truth. So Sandra would say that forcing someone to fit into the predefined rule is wrong because it takes away their freedom to be who they are. So next slide. So I want to rewind again. Now, Ponti takes a slightly different approach, but it connects really well as well. So he talks about how our bodies are not just physical objects, just like Danda said, that they are how we experience and interact with the world. So LGBT individual, their identity is just an idea in their head. It is something they live and feel through their bodies and experience. So Ponti also point out how space and relationship are shaped by our bodies. Next slide, please. So society often misunderstood this, leading to rejection is based on a rigid and outdated norm, just like Cliff said. So to truly understand and accept other, we need to acknowledge the reality of their experience, which is shaped by their bodies and relationship with the world around them. Next slide. So for me, personally, when I look at this idea, I feel like acceptance of the LGBT people isn't just about being nice or tolerant. It's about understanding what it means to be human. So Central reminds us to respect people, freedom to live as themselves, and the Ponti teach us to see people's life experience as real and valuable. So in my opinion, this is about fairness and recognizing that everyone deserves the space to live authentically. Uh, so my opinion, to my attitude is support and acceptance on LGBT. It is the right thing to do, not only emotionally but also rationally. Rejecting LGBT people is like ignoring the reality of who they are as human beings. Supporting them is about embracing their freedom to define themselves as a central subject, and also, according to the Ponti explanation, valuing the authenticity of their life and the body of their experience. So to me, acceptance is not about it's about going beyond label and social norms to genuinely care about people as they are, not as society might want them to be. So this understanding is not only ethical, but a way to truly connect with and support others in their true self.
Thank you for your answer, Wine. I agree with what you said. So this is our presentation. Thank you for watching and we will see you.